2 years today. 2 years since we walked out of that place and did not look back. Speak for yourself, oh. I looked back. Speak for yourself, oh. I looked back just to make sure
Blessing's
Madam
hands
was
were
not chasing
always
us
going
with
to
a
end
broom.
up somewhere beautiful. The only question was whether it would be beautiful for somebody else's benefit or her own. Now there is a shop. Small. She will be the first to tell you it is small. But every fitting, every mirror, every chair inside it belongs to her. Not rented from her spirit and paid back in exhaustion. Actually hers. Watch her hands. Watch how careful they are. Not because someone is standing behind her ready to scold. Careful because she has decided this work will carry her name, and her name is not something she is willing to rush. One of her regulars, a woman now on her 4th visit, held the mirror up that afternoon and marveled, the way she always did, at how Blessing's hands seemed to remember everything without ever needing to be told twice. She had already recommended Blessing to her sister. She said so plainly, the way people do when praise costs them nothing and means everything to the one receiving it. Blessing only thanked her, quietly, wiping her tools, trying not to let the gratitude show too much on her face. But something in that client's eyes caught a change she could not quite name, a lightness in Blessing that had not been there before, as though something heavy had finally left her shoulders. Blessing did not explain what. Some clients become customers, a rare few become witnesses. This one, without knowing it, had just watched a woman confirm to herself, quietly in a small mirror, that she had built something real. Grace's rise was quieter than the others, because the internet does not always show you the sweat behind the numbers. But make no mistake, behind every graph climbing upward on her screen was a woman who once taught herself to sell in the dark, 40 stolen minutes at a time. Now businesses pay her, real businesses with real budgets, to do the thing she once did for free, alone, in a room where 4 girls slept close together and dreamed apart. Watch how she speaks now, in rooms like this one, walking 2 clients through numbers that used to belong only to strangers on the internet, numbers that now belong to her. No apology sitting underneath her words, no shrinking to make her ambitions smaller for someone else's comfort. She learned the language of the internet at night, in secret, and now she uses it in daylight, unafraid to be seen using it well. And Chidinma, the one whose door opened through someone else's belief in her, walked through it so fully that she no longer needs anyone's introduction. They call her now for the shoots that matter, the launches, the magazine covers, the faces the whole country is watching. She, who once carried a camera bag home on aching shoulders after a full shift at the spa, now has assistants carrying bags for her. But listen closely because this matters. Success did not make her forget the weight of the bag. It only changed whose shoulders carried it now. She remembers every stolen hour. She remembers the mockery in that reception area, Madame's voice performing for an audience of waiting clients. She carries all of it into every photograph she takes, quietly, like a signature nobody else can see but her. So here they are again, full circle. 3 separate roads that all began in the same cramped room, now sitting at one table, healthy, unburdened, glowing with something no spa treatment could ever have given them. Blessing leaned back that night, satisfied in a way she rarely let herself be. If somebody had told her 2 years earlier that she would own her own shop, she would have laughed in their face, laughed, and then probably cried too. Chidinma admitted something similar. If somebody had told her she would one day be photographing the very people she used to see on billboards, she does not think she would have believed them either. It were Grace who lifted her glass again, softer this time. And this time, the toast was not for themselves. It was for faith. Blessing raised her glass too, quietly.
to faith.
Chidinma's
Wherever
eyes
you are,
went
we still
glassy
hope.
as she lifted hers, and she said, barely above a whisper, that wherever Faith was that night, she hoped some part of her knew they had never stopped hoping for her. They did not say much more about her that night. Some names you carry quietly, because saying them too loudly might break the good thing you are trying to hold on to. But know this, wherever Faith was that night, she was not forgiving. Not by these three, never by these three. What paying to her, and how these three finally found their way back to her, or did not, that is the story I will tell you next. Look at these hands, steady now, sure of themselves, the kind of hands that know exactly where they're going before they get there. You would not know, looking at them, what they eat to do.
You would not know the oils they used to rub into backs that were not theirs to touch, the bodies they used to bend for, the aches they used to swallow because complaining was not in the job description. But I am getting ahead of myself. Sit, let me take you back. Because before there were steady hands, there were 4 girls. Grace, Blessing, Chidinma, and Faith. And by the time this story catches up to itself, 3 of them will be somewhere else entirely, building something with their own names on it. 1 will still be here. This is not a story about who was strong and who was weak. Throw that thinking away now, because it will not serve you. This is a story about what it costs to live and what it costs to stay, and how sometimes the second cost is the one that breaks you slower, but it still breaks you. Let us begin. Grace did not sleep the way the others slept. When Blessing's breathing went slow and even, when Chidinma turned to face the wall, when Faith's small sounds of dreaming filled the room, Grace's eyes were still open. Her phone light low, 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 so it would not wake anybody, so it would not raise questions she was not ready to answer. She was teaching herself to sell. Not spa treatments, not Madame's overpriced packages that cost the girls more in bruised feet than they ever made in commission. She was learning how the world outside sold things, how a phone and a good photo and the right words in the right order could turn a stranger's attention into money. Nobody taught her this. She found it. Free videos, stitched together at night like a quilt with too few blankets. 40 minutes here before her eyes gave out. 20 minutes there when Madame thought she was sleeping. She was building something in the dark, this girl. And in Lagos, that is not a metaphor. That is simply how it is done. Now let me tell you about Blessing. Blessing did not have the luxury of stolen hours. Her hands were needed every day, all day, pressing tension out of shoulders that belonged to people who would never once ask her name. So Blessing did what a woman does when the night will not give her what she needs. She asked, in the daylight, with her chest out and her voice steady, for what was already owed to her. She did not correct Madame, did not tell her the truth, that this family situation had a name, and the name was a beauty academy 3 bus stops away, where for 1 month, Blessing would learn to do with her hands what she had only ever done for other people's comfort, build something beautiful and be paid what it was worth. Sometimes the wisest thing a woman can do is let a lie stand when the truth is not owed to the person asking for it. Chidinma's door opened a little differently, not through stolen hours, not through a borrowed lie. Hers opened because somebody believed in her before she fully believed in herself. Her young man, a producer, always with an eye for what the camera loved, had seen the way she looked at his equipment, not with jealousy, with hunger, the good kind, the kind that says, I could do that if only somebody would let me try. So he did not just tell her she could, he paid for the class. And when the class was not enough, he found her a place under the wing of a photographer whose name people in the industry said with respect. A woman known for turning ordinary Lagos lights into something the whole country wanted to look at. It looked from the outside like the easiest road of the three. No lie to tell, no hours stolen from sleep. But do not mistake support for a shortcut. Chidinma still had to show up, still had to fail in front of people, still had to carry a camera bag home after a full shift at the spa, her shoulders screaming twice over, once for Madame's clients, once for her own dream. Easy is a word people use when they are not the one carrying the bag. Now, Faith. I will not tell you Faith did not know. She knew everything. She saw Grace's eyes red in the morning from the phone light. She saw Blessing come back from her family situation with hands that had learned something new. She saw Chidinma's camera bag by the door, and she chose each time to stay exactly where she was. Not because she was foolish. Listen to me. Do not let anybody tell you this woman was foolish. She was in school, part-time, evening classes that cost money she did not have extra of. She was sending Naira home to a family that depended on the small, certain thing she had, rather than the large, uncertain thing she might build.
Faith had done the maths, and the maths told her that certain suffering was safer than uncertain hope. She was happy for them, truly. There was no bitterness in her, not yet anyway. Only a kind of quiet math, running always in the background of her mind, telling her, not yet, not yet, not yet. But a woman cannot say not yet forever and expect the door to still be open when she finally turns around. Madam could not have told you what was different. If you had asked her directly, Madam, what has changed? She would have waved you away with her hand and told you nothing, nothing at all. Everything is as it should be. But her body knew before her mouth would admit it. She felt it in the small things, the way Grace no longer flinched at a raised voice, the way Blessing's hands moved with a new private confidence, the way Chidinma looked at her phone with an interest that had nothing to do with the spa's schedule. Something was shifting under her feet, and Madam, like every person who has ever built their power on other people's fear, did not know how to hold ground that was already moving. She did not argue, did not defend herself in front of the clients Madam needed to impress. She simply carried it, the way she had learned to carry every heavy thing in that building, and later, alone, she opened her camera roll and looked at a photograph she had taken. Sharp, beautiful, hers. Let Madam mock what she does not understand. The camera did not care what Madam thought of it, and neither, increasingly, did Chidinma. Small things, when you are building from nothing, do not feel small. They feel like miracles. Blessing's first client outside the spa, a neighbor's cousin who paid her in full, in cash, and asked when she could come back. Grace's first sale, a stranger on the internet who trusted her enough to send money for a service Grace had never delivered before, but delivered anyway, correctly, on time. Chidinma's first paid booking, a birthday shoot, modest money, but money that had never touched Madam's ledger, not 1 naira of it. None of it was much, not yet, but you do not measure a foundation by how tall it is on the first day. You measure it by whether it is solid enough to build on tomorrow. And so, on quiet nights, 3 girls sat together and counted what they had made outside the walls that were supposed to be their whole world. Small notes, folded soft from handling. Not enough yet to leave, but enough to dream out loud, in whispers, about the day it would be. When I have my own place, Blessing would say, no woman will ever mock my hands again. When I have enough clients, Grace would say, I will not need anybody's permission to rest." Chidinma said less. She simply looked at her camera, and that was answer enough. And in the corner, Faith listened. She always listened. She told herself she was happy for them, and she was. But underneath the happiness sat something else, something she did not yet have a name for. A small, cold thought that visited her most nights now, right before sleep took her. What if the safe thing I am holding on to is not actually safe at all? She pushed the thought away, the way she always did. There was school in the morning. There was money to send home. There was a certainty she could not yet afford to let go of. So here they stood, these 4 women, 3 of them with one foot already stepping toward a door only they could see. One of them still rooted, still counting a different kind of cost, still telling herself, not yet. Staying is not always weakness. Leaving is not always brave. Sometimes it is simply about which fear a person can carry and which fear will finally break them. We will see, soon enough, which fear was the heavier one. But that is a story for another day. 2 years. That is how long it takes, sometimes, for a
2 years
whisper
ago, I
to
never
become
thought
a
I'd
life.
own a shop.
Look
Same
at
here,
them now.
shooting billboard stars
Grace,
seemed impossible
Blessing,
then. To Faith,
Chidinma,
wherever you
seated
are,
at a
we still
table
hope.
they could not have imagined back then, in a room where nobody is watching the clock, where nobody is telling them what their hands are worth. They did not say much more about her that night. Some names you carry quietly, because saying them too loudly might break the good thing you are trying to hold on to. But know this, wherever Faith was that night, she was not forgotten. Not by these 3. Never by these 3. What happened to her, and how these 3 finally found their way back to her, or did not, that is the story I will tell you next.